Hello everyone, this is Shining Noctales, and tonight figured it'd be nice to stream some more 2004Scape for you guys. Figured it'd be nice to do. We finally reached one of our main goals, which was 43 prayer. I'm so glad we reached that, because now we have all our protection prayers unlocked, and that is huge. But now, our next goal is going to try to get to 66 magic for Mage's Guild. And if I can, I'd love to get 80 magic eventually as well. Then after that, I think I'd like to train combat, and because I kind of want to make a battle mage for this account, and we're doing pretty well so far with it. So bad. Okay, so okay, might have to shrink the Discord. It's mainly only for Runescape that I sometimes have trouble with OBS having Discord on full screen, because then it kind of wants to kind of act out. But as long as it's not full screen, it's fine. Same thing with the web browser as well. Ooh, law runes. I always like getting those. Love this background music. So we got water rooms. Always like getting those. Being their friend. I'm so glad. I feel like I see more people playing 2004Scape now, which is nice, because last few videos, Varrock Westbank has been pretty full, or fuller than usual, which is nice. Um, I think one thing 2004Scape does really well is it's really good at, was a good community, um, probably because there's not that many bots, or if any, and people are willing to work together, which is nice. Of course, not every person, but most people. Oh shoot, no. I'm not supposed to. I've been burying bones still because I'm so used to doing it now, but no, we're gonna start saving those now because we got 43 prayer. We might bury more in the future when Smite comes out, but for now I think we can start selling them. How much are dragon bones going for now? I'd bury McCockner. They're actually people are spending more on them now. Okay, so then I'll start stockpiling them because I know it helps people with prayer. Okay, so we can now start making more gil per trip then, or more GP gills from Final Fantasy. But yeah, uh, yeah, I'll be able to start doing that now. Probably what I'll do with prayer in the future, I'll still like if I get the genie, I'll just add it to my prayer level because I don't feel like it hurts to get beyond 43 prayer. Um, yeah, other than that, I'll just think we'll be good. Oh shoot, I forgot my Alex too. But don't worry, when we get back to the bank, we'll sort that all out. Oh, Wind Wave might be something worth looking into for a new method. Um, I know a lot of you guys have mentioned getting Firebolt, but Wind Wave, I don't know how much Blood Runes are going for, but that could be another method. Oh, never mind. Blood Runes are going for 600 each. That's way too much. Yeah, that shit flew by real quick. Death Runes aren't too bad though. Yeah, Chaos Runes are not bad either. Oh, hold on. Speaking about the Yeah, Mystic Mime sells Chaos for 100 GP each. I think the Fire Strike method is still pretty good though. Hey Wes, glad you could join the stream. I'm at Blue Dragons again, and right now I'm still training magic, and I was just kind of going through my options right now. Thankfully, now that I got 43 prayer, it seems like people are buying Dragon Bones, or they're spending more on Dragon Bones now, so be definitely worth to start getting those. And yeah, I was just looking at how much runes cost right now. I feel like if I ever were to I'll eventually do Family Crest Quest, probably after Lost City. But Mystic Mime, he has such good deals on runes, and I think he's selling Chaos Roots for 100 each. But what I want my Fire Runes from him, I think he sold them to me for 12.5 GP each. So that was pretty good. I was just kind of thinking about that. Fire Strike, Firebolt, and then Wind Bolt too, because you could just use Chaos Runes for that. That could be another method if I ever did Family Crest Quest, or uh, Wind Blast was another one, and Wind Wave as well. But Blood Runes are too expensive right now, so that's kind of out of the list. If I really want to burn through gold, then I would use Wind Blast. But no, I think this method's still really good. All right. I'm just start bringing my gnats. Yeah, I only really need 3 salmon per run. That's 2. Let's up those numbers. Oh wow, 9 people watching my stream. Nice. Oh hey RPG. Hey Mr. RPG. Hello Wartime RS. This is a non-commentary. I'm still chill though. Watch. Oh there he is. Glad to see you all in the stream now. Wow. Appreciate all the support. Yeah, RPG. I was kind of thinking. I was kind of debating because after 66 magic, I think I can get 66 magic just fine with my Fire Strike method. But then I was thinking about the road to 80 magic. So I was debating because I want to do Lost City eventually for Dragon Dagger and Dragon Longsword. Oh, nice. Thanks. I'm cooked dinner, but I'm gonna be lower. Oh, okay. Sounds a good RPG. Hope whatever you make is really good. Yeah, I was kind of thinking because like Mystic Mime, he's really been like kind of like my go-to for runes because like he sold me I think almost 12,000 fire runes for like 12.5 GP each, and he has a really good deal on Chaos runes right now. You guys might look into it too because I know RPG, you and Wes always buy Chaos runes, so even if I don't get them from him immediately, you guys can always go to him because right now 100 for Chaos runes I think is pretty decent. I was thinking of that, and then I was thinking of like Wind Blast because I know you mentioned that RPG for like with Death runes, so that could be like another method even if I don't do Family Crest immediately. And then I was thinking about Wind Surge or not Wind Surge, Wind Wave, but Blood runes are too expensive, so unless if I really want to burn through gold, which I don't want to, that's kind of out of the equation. So yeah, I was thinking about that too, because Chaos runes with only 100 each, because I think for Fire Strike I use uh wait, I used two well, 3 fire runes and 1 mine rune. So that tends to be around like 50 each on average. But then with Wind Bolt, that'd be like 100 each. So I'd only pay twice more per cast. But I'd get more XP from that too. So, um, and I don't know if if a Mystic Mine would even be able to do a better deal for me. Like, I don't know if he'd be willing to do like 90 for Chaos runes if I bought like 20,000 of them, but we'll see. Because I was thinking about that. Yeah, well, like, I guess like with the fire runes, Mystic Mime gave me like a super good deal, like 12.5 per fire rune, which is like 37.5 GP. Then like a mine rune tends to be around 15 average because I usually buy them from the shops. Um, but yeah, like it'd be like a 50 gold difference per cast, but I'd get more XP from the Wind Blast, or I mean not Wind Blast, Wind Bolt, and I have a higher max hit rate. So maybe when he's on again, maybe that will convince me to level up my stats for Family Crest, because I'm either going to do that or Lost City next. Yes, yeah, but then you don't need to buy from shops. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we'll have to see. If he's on, then I think he says I can also message him on Discord, but I don't think I have his Discord. So I don't know if you guys do, um, but yeah, because I think he was selling. How many was he selling? 22,000 9 hours ago. Cheap AF PM in game if not on Discord. Oh wait, no, he did write his Discord. Okay, let me see if I can get him done. Because if he's willing to sell me, some, then I wouldn't mind doing the quest. Yeah, let me see. Because that's the only thing that'll really convince me to consider another option from Firestrike. Is if I can get like I mean, 100 is already pretty good for Chaos runes, but if he's even willing to do like, if not 90, even if it's like 95 each, like if I buy like 20,000, like that would be great. Um, well, I don't want to buy like all of them from you guys because I know you guys also use Chaos runes too. But let me see. Legends never die. Okay, let me see if I can add them. Okay. Never die. Jesus. Okay. Okay. So I sent him a friend request. So whenever he gets to me, be nice. I have a lot of chaos myself, lol. I think I got 81 to 84 magic in chaos. Ooh, nice. Yeah, I have to see what requirements I need for Family Crest though, because I got the magic requirement now. Um, If I wait for Elemental Workshop, I could do that and get 5,000 smithing XP and 5,000 crafting XP. Crafting will help for Lost City, and then oh no, actually help for both. Okay, so I would need 40 smithing and 40 crafting for Family Crest. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, but that would be really good because if he has a ton of no, I mean ton of chaos runes, and he says, "Hey, like I'm willing to do them for 95 each, for like 20,000 or something," that'd be great. Or even if it's only like 12,000 or whatever, I'm fine with that too. 'Cause I think, well, I don't know if I could buy 20,000 anyways because I only have like a little over 1 mil, so it'll probably have to be like 10,000 or something. I'm just trading strength at Chaos Druids. I bought a lot from shops. Chaos. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's something I could consider too. Um, yeah, I've done Shield of Avrab already. I've done all the free-to-play quests. Oh, there's Genie again. Okay, let's add that to prayer. I've decided now, even though I'm not bearing the Dragon Bones anymore, I think um, the way I'm gonna level up prayer from now on is like from the Genie mainly. Just because like I figure a few extra prayer levels won't hurt. And then especially when Smite comes out, that will be awesome too. So, but yeah, 43 is fine enough. It's just something you have to stack over time. Yeah, again, I've been thinking about it. It's either going to be that or it's going to be Death Runes if I can get a good deal on Death Runes. Because Death Runes right now, someone is selling them for 175. Nerd Rage, I don't know if he's on right now. 175 is good. But if they were willing to do it for like 160 each, or even 170 or something, 165, like, that'd be cool too. Yeah, Chaos Gauntlets is cheaper. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, the only reason why I considered Chaos is because I know RPG mentioned it, and the perk with Death Runes is you do get a little bit more XP. Um, and your max hit would be one hit higher. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking about. It's either going to be Fire Strike, Wind Bolt, or Wind Blast. Those are going to be the three. Unless the Fire Runes, crash severely one day and they're like 200 each. Firebolt's 15 and Fire Blast, yeah. Yeah, the thing with Firebolt too. Okay, so you have to use at least three air runes or 4 fire runes, yeah. So. Yeah, it's something I'm gonna have to think about. I think either way I do it, I'll get there. I'll get to 80, or I'll get to 66 magic for sure, and then either way I'll get to 80 magic. It's just that like I know Fire Strike will be like the lowest. I mean, not the lowest. It'll be like the slowest method, but at the same time, it's also sort of the most economical. I think even with Wind Bolt, might be closer. It might be like more even with Wind Bolt, but yeah. I mean, this has worked out for me ever since 39 magic, so it's not like I've lost anything. It's just the only thing is I think Wind Bolt would just give me just a little extra XP, but yeah, either method's fine. It might maybe slightly cheaper to use for Far Strike, but yeah, I know some people might think that time might not be worth it. I mean, like I think for the lower levels it has been like from 39 to 61, definitely it's been worth it. But I think once I get to 66, maybe then I'll kind of start thinking, because I think I could still do it to 80 magic. It just might take longer. That's the only thing. I mean, I remember back in the day when I used to splash to get my magic level up, so I mean, I'll get there eventually. It's just plus yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, but I think RPG mentioned like I think he uses 20 chaos runes on average per blue dragon, and that's with firebolt. I don't know if he's done the wind bolt method, but for me, I use like 27 to 30 mind runes, so I mean it's a little bit more. It's not much more. Um, and I know he mentioned like firebolt is more of like a gill sink, or not gill sink, a gold sink. Now wind bolt wouldn't be, or airbolt, or however you call it. Um, but I'll have to think on that. Uh, the only reason why I'm thinking about it is again the 100 for chaos runes is really good, or even 95. Um, okay, yeah. It might depend on each person. I think RPG said 20 on average, but I don't know. I think you said you were 84 magic or something, so maybe that's why it's a little bit less for you. Since you're at a higher magic level. Yeah, and honestly, I don't know how Fire Strike would do at 80 magic. Like how many strikes it would take. I mean, as it is, it's quicker now with the God Cape for sure. And again, if I can still get really good deals also like on Mine Runes and Fire Runes, or Air Runes, it's not terrible. Um, but yeah, no, like if someone's trying to sell me Air Runes 29 each, it's just, at least for the, excuse me, this method's a little bit too much. Not too far away from 62 magic. Oh, when we get 66 magic, we'll also get vulnerability too, and I've heard that can sometimes be good against KBD or King Black Dragons, so that could also be decent. But almost 2 times as fast. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think what's gonna convince me is the wind bolt, or the because that you just only need the chaos runes. And the max hit's 12, which is not bad. It's almost as good as Wind Blast, so yeah. Yeah, in that case, I can showcase Wind Blast while you guys are showcasing Firebolt. I mean, or Wind Bolt. And I'll say like I know it's not as powerful as Firebolt, but it's still pretty good. Oh, Adamantine ore. Was like getting that. Yeah, it's just that 40 smithing and 40 crafting. It's not like it's going to take forever. I think if I do Elemental Workshop when that comes out, that'll help a lot. because that's like 5,000 smithing and crafting XP. Mhm. I was thinking of actually mining gems at Shiloh Village and then cutting the gems into gems, like using a chisel. Because you know I am the gem. Yeah, with mining gem rocks you can make quite a bit too, because I think gems sell for quite a bit. So I don't know about jades and opals and stuff, but I know like rubies, sapphires, emeralds, diamonds, those sell for a good amount. Speaking of which, I got an uncut sapphire. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do that because my account is literally named Gem Rhineboo. So be going to Varrock's thing selling gems. Oh no, these wasps again. These gnats. Oops. Make all the gems you have into recoils the rings. Oh yeah, that could help as well, yeah. Hey, I could use my cosmic runes for that as well. I would just need to get gold bars, but I guess, well, oh yeah, I could also level up my crafting too with gold bars. Yeah, that could help. Yeah, I can enchant up to diamond right now, I think. Yeah, so we're pretty good. Yeah, I'll have to check because I sell them as well sometimes, or I'll trade them like for other stuff. Mhm. Like I think what I would do sometimes, like I think when Agreed just gave me like 1,000 nature runes, I think I traded him some gems just as like a little gift. That was nice. Of course, all the eye patches he traded me too, which is worth it, worth giving out. Yeah, we'll figure out something. Like I'm gonna do either that or Lost City first, like, because I really want to get access to dragon weapons, at least Dragon Dagger and Dragon Longsword, because that's gonna be essential for my battle mage. At least a Dragon Dagger for sure. Yeah, because that's gonna be like my spec. So I got like 7 sapphires, some emeralds, and some rubies, so not too shabby. Hey Matt, glad you could join the stream. Right now we're just kind of debating about questing and what methods to use. Mainly more so for 80 magic, because I think I can get 66 magic fairly easily with Fire Strike, but I'm thinking about like the road to 80 after we get 66. Then when we train combat, I think I'm gonna do it mainly at Chaos Druids and just go for a bunch of herbs. You know? The reason why I kind of want to do Battle Mage versus like a range build is because on OSRS I did range so much that I figured like doing magic and melee would be like kind of a nice change. Um, I know it might be a little bit tough, well, like it could be tough against people with range, but at the same time, I think because like if I can get their prayer down, especially, well, I know not all fights are gonna like be with protect from prayer, but we'll figure out something because like I know magic can struggle against D'hide, but that's also why I have melee. The only thing that's gonna be tough is the if they use protect from melee. So I don't know what the GP per hour is at Chaos Druids. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, that'd be like a good place to train and get a bunch of herbs. Well, the good news too, like, is because magic, since magic defense scales off of magic, if they have a high range level but a low magic level, that'll also help a lot too. So, because even if they have like 99 range, if their magic's only like 10, then it shouldn't be a problem, or it won't be as much of a problem. To be honest with you, considering you won't gain combat levels for any range levels to equal your magic level, it's either a melee based stats or a tank range or mage. Yeah, well, that's what I did initially in old school. Like, I did like a lot of range and magic, but this time I kind of want to do like magic and melee, because I don't know, like I feel like I didn't give melee enough time to showcase itself either, and also magic. So if I can do like magic and melee, that'd be cool. And when RPG was doing his stream with everyone in the Deep Wildy, it was kind of cool to see that one guy with like the monk robes and the dragon longsword. That was really cool. Like the pure, like it was like maximizing prayer and melee. That was really cool. Yeah, that's what I'm probably gonna do. Yeah. I think the reason why I do it too is because, like, see, I kind of like to be unique at times with, like, my builds. And I feel like a ton of people are going to do range, which is fine. But I feel like, like a battle mage is something you won't see every day, so, um, you know, the perk I have is if they focus mainly on range, I have protect from missiles, so that helps. Um, but if they're like range and melee, then that's where I have to kind of think a little bit more too. But that's why I also have like, it's like if I get like 79 magic, I'll get like entangle, so I can hit with magic, and then like when they're like stunned, then I can, when they least expect it, I can go for that DDS spec. We'll see. But yeah, and also charge, like with God Staffs, like hitting 30 is still really huge. So like even if they have D'hide, you know, if I can manage to hit like a 30, like that still is like really big. Yeah, and like right now we also don't have rune crossbows as well or dark bows, so like the best range, I mean range is still really good with the magic bow, rune arrows, don't get me wrong. And especially I think the special attack for magic bow originally was like 35%. So, I mean range is still going to be really good, but I think like, you know, mage is still also can be really good as well if you know how to work with it. I think the thing is going to be the timing. That's going to be the most important. And maybe also like I don't know, maybe vulnerability could help out too. Because I mean you do need like soul runes for that, but I'd have to see where you get those in this game. Um, but yeah, that could help too with defense. See, I don't know if the Guthix clause, like the clause of Guthix and vulnerability stacks, because if it does, like that'd also be cool. Like that'd be a 15% debuff. So, oh, ooh, okay, that's nice. So that'll help. Yeah, if I could stack um vulnerability with clause of Guthix, then that'd be pretty cool. Oh, so it doesn't stack. Okay. So maybe I don't know, because it's either that or I could use vulnerability with Sarah Strike. That could also go through their prayer. I think of something. Yeah. That could work. Still play legs. Oops, my bad. Yeah, I was looking at the high scores not too long ago. I don't know if it's changed by much, but it seems like no one had gotten 99 prayer yet in 2004Scape. I guess it makes sense because the only way you can really raise prayer is by either bearing bones or talking to the genie, which makes sense. I think the highest prayer level someone has right now, 86 prayer. So, oh, it's Pasca, I think. Yes, Pasca has 86 prayer. Not 100 yet, but fairly close. Oops, my bad. Oh, I also think they recently did some changes to like the screen layout for like the screen dimensions for 2004Scape if they haven't already done them yet. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, or I don't know if it's going to be until the update, but yeah, I think 86 is still pretty good though. Then one person has 99 magic. I think it's let's see, 64 IQ. Interesting. Only one person. There's quite a few people who have 99 range, which makes sense. Crazy Bones. No one has 99 attack yet. Dead Vodding is the closest at 98. One person has 99 defense. I think his name's Kite Shield. A fair amount of people have 99 strength. But yeah, no one has 99 attack. Dead Vodding's super close though. There's a few people with 99 fire making, them gains, yo. He has 20 million XP in fire making, which is pretty cool. Yeah, 20 million exact. No one has 99 smithing yet. Bronze is really close though. When he gets 99 smithing, you'll be able to make a rune plate body. That'll be cool. One person has 99 rune crafting. That's Akame. I don't know if he plays on the Japanese server, but if he does, congrats to him. No one has 99 crafting yet. You can make rune 2H then, I think. Yeah, there you go. Fair amount of people have 99 woodcutting. I'm not surprised. 99 fishing. 99 mining. One person has it. Note to wolf. Not to wolf. Fair amount of people have 699 cooking. Oh, two people have 99 agility. That's pretty cool. think maybe Prayer's gonna be like maybe one of the last ones to get 99 in. Yeah, no, I think yeah, like I was looking at Prayer RPG earlier, and Pasca, who I think I've met before, has 86 Prayer hit points. Pasca also has 998 hit points, so he has the highest hit points in Prayer out of everyone. Yeah, Carly Garlic got 99 agility today, and other person, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Were those two? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I see Garlic there. I see Volpe is another one. Um, yeah, Volpe and Carly Garlic. Yeah, those two. I see them there. Fair amount of people have 99 thieving. I'm not surprised with how many people Wow, someone has 95 million XP in thieving. Wow. They must have been thieving ever since, the game first came out. 'Cause that's quite a bit. Yeah, 95 million XP. Yeah. How about Herblore? Okay, so no one has 99 Herblore yet. 80, Dead Botting has 89. How about mining? Oh yeah, not a wolf. Yeah, he's the only one with 99 mining. Then the person with the highest total XP is actually um Dog. Actually, seems like Dog, who I've met before. Dog has the highest total combined XP. Oh, Fletching. I forgot about Fletching. Okay. Yeah, a fair amount of people have 99 Fletching. Again, not surprised. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was looking at OSRS, kind of like Wikipedia, but it seems like it doesn't. I don't know in this version of the game if it would, because I was thinking about that. I could always also do vulnerability and Sarah Strike too. That could also work. So I could lower their prayer and also lower their defense. Because that would help against protect from melee, but we'll have to think about that. What's gonna help with those fights, especially if they bring D'hide, is the lower their magic is, the better of a chance I have too. Because even if they have like 99 range, but they have like 10 magic, I'll stand a better chance. Because magic defense is based on I think your magic level mainly, so that helps. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I don't know how many other battle mages we have here on the server. I don't know if I'm gonna be like one of the one of the main people, like I'm also like one of the main guys who uses Fire Strike, and it's like I bring melee and magic, and everyone else is using like range. I think that's why I like the guy in your stream RPG, the guy with the monk robes and like the dragon longsword with like the monk robes. Like that was a neat build. I think the thing with range builds is I don't mind them. It's just I've seen them so many times, but I haven't really seen that many magic and melee builds. So it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I can bring a dragon dagger, a dragon mace would be cool. Dragon warhammer, that's another option. Um, there's so many good like melee weapons I could use with magic. Dragon spear. Because range, dragon. Oh yeah, not warhammer. Battle axe. My bad. I don't know why I said warhammer. Battle axe. Yeah. Yeah, dragon battle axe, dragon mace, dragon longsword, dragon dagger, dragon spear. Those are like 5 weapons that are gonna have specials. And I think range. I think range only has magic shortbow and longbow. I think those are the only 2 specs they have. Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't think Abyssal Whip is. I don't know when that's gonna come out. Well, probably when Slayer comes out in this game. Um. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, Dragon Mace. That could be another option. Yeah. Then of course you also got Excalibur, but I don't think that's helps with defense. But as you can see, I'm doing pretty well with drops now. I got 30 blue D high, 27 dragon bones. Not too bad. Running out of runes though, so eventually I'm gonna need to buy more. I have to go back to Varrock and trade again, which I know you guys love. Eventually I'll do some polls as well when I go there. I know you guys like that too. Let's see. I think Dragon Mace get yeah, so Dragon Mace I mean I can switch it up. It doesn't have to always be Dragon Dagger, which is also neat too, because I can do Dragon Dagger, Dragon Mace, Dragon Longsword, Dragon Battle Axe, Dragon Spear. Um there's so many good dragon weapons. That I could, think of a lot of different ways to go about it. Yeah. And I think the good thing with Dragon Mace, I think it does give like a magic bonus. So that is something to think about. Um, I mean, I'll probably be switching back and forth between the staff and the mace, or the staff and the melee weapon, but, oh, no, actually, it doesn't. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Maybe it's just a rune mace and below that give you that. But it gives you a prayer bonus, though. Oh, nice. Yeah, those will be good as well. Um, yeah, like I think what really helps Magic, what's really going to help the Magic build shine is the melee build along with it. If it's just Magic, then it kind of falls prey to Protect from Magic as a, because they can just do that, and you're kind of a fish out of water. But if you combine it with the melee, then that really adds a level of depth that they will probably struggle a bit more with. And I kind of want to focus more on melee than, of course, than the range builds because um, that's probably going to be like my main KO method, unless if I get like a 30 with like a Sarah Striker Claws of Guthics. Um, then there's also always the tribrid route as well. Like people use magic, melee, and range, but I don't. Right now, I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of just. I might do that in the future, but for now, just kind of focus just on melee and magic. Kind of deal with that. I think like tribrid works well, especially like if you like because of like the dragon firebolts when those came out, those were really good. But I think like melee, I think is good enough, like with magic. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. I mean, again, I saw people in the deep wildy just using only melee, and they still did really well. Of course, they weren't using protection prayers. But yeah, which is actually good because then that way you can really see like, because of course you can use them, but then it's also cool to see, okay, like without protection prayers, like if you have monk robes like dragon longsword against range d'hide magic shortbow, like who wins? And the guy with the monk robes and the dragon longsword was putting in a lot of work, so it shows that melee can also be really good. And also magic too. There was a guy that was using god spells, and that was cool. We'll get there eventually, though. It might take a while. Um, but that's fine. I don't mind. And whenever I get there, I'll get there. Oops, let me get the blue d'hide. Because I think like 80 magic, 80 strength, and maybe 80 attack. Like that would be great. If I could get those kind of squared away. Or maybe like I could get like 80 strength. Um, could be at like 80 strength, 70, 75 attack as well. Something like that, yeah. Because we definitely want the high strength level for sure. Or I could get like 60 attack, 80 strength, 80, 90 strength. Tribrid also takes a lot of practice inventory. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, maybe we'll get like 60 attack, 80 to 90 strength, 80 magic. I think that's doable. I think I can do that. Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna do Chaos Druids, if only because I can get tons of herbs that way, and also like runes. And I know there's people always buying herbs, generally speaking, so I can do that. Uh, and yeah, green dragons could be another method too. But you'll figure something out. Or blue dragons, I just would have to be a bit more prepared if I do that. I mean, you still could. I mean, it just might take a little bit longer. Because I know the Chaos Druids, I think they only have around 20 hit points, so they go down pretty quick. But yeah. I guess maybe that's why people do Hellhounds, because of the clue scrolls, even though they don't really drop anything else. I think, yeah, I'm almost 70 strength now, yeah. I'll tell you, this has been a great place to train magic for sure. Oh, almost 62 magic. And of course, there's also going to be other fun. Like, I feel like this game, what I like most of it, aside from the PvP or thinking about PvP, is like I just like the community. Like even just trading or like hanging out. This is one thing that I've always liked about RuneScape is like whenever the community is really good, it really is good. Like, and that's what makes the game for me. It's just like even just trading people eye patches, it's always fun to kind of capture those moments. Yeah. And I especially like love the moments like getting into like a big like voice call with a bunch of people. Like especially like when it comes to like deep wildy and everyone's like yelling, but like not in a bad way, but it's just like because I remember like I'd get in these like I was with like in a clan in the 62 magic. I was in a clan with like with a guy named Corpse Groom as the lead, and it'd be like 10 of us on TeamSpeak, and then we would fight all these other clans and the deep world, and that was really fun. But if we can even do like something, um, I mean, I always saw with RPG stream like people were already doing that to an extent. Um, but yeah, that'd be super fun to kind of see all that. No, we're also even like it doesn't even have to be a PvP. It can also even just be bossing, like bossing King Black Dragon or Cowfight. Is it Cowfight Queen? No, Cowfight King. I think that comes out is going to be our second boss, and that's going to give us access to Dragon Chain Body. Yeah, I did Underground Passive RPG and others as an event. I got to do that quest eventually. Um, Probably after Family Crest and Lost City though. But yeah. And then of course Heroes Quest too. I only got 10 quests left to do before Elemental Workshop comes out. The Underground Pass, Temple of Ekov, Sea Slug, Scorpion Catcher, Lost City Legends Quest, Heroes Quest, Family Crest, Dwarf Cannon, and Big Chompy Bird Hunting. Those are the 10 I still have yet to do. Everything else I've done so far. Yeah, I think isn't it Cowfight King or is it yeah, or is it Cowfight? No, no, it might be Cowfight Queen. Hold on, let me check to be sure. No, 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 it is Cowfight. It is Cowfight Queen, okay. Cowfight King I think came later, yeah. Yeah, so Cowfight Queen came out in September. Seems like the stats they recommend you to have is like 80 attack, 80 strength, 80 defense, 80 range, 70 prayer, 85 points. Okay. I'm imagining that's also like if you try soloing it. Yeah, and then it drops the dragon chain, I think. Yeah. Can also drop a rune chain body. But yeah, that's gonna be the next big dragon armor. It'll be interesting to see how much dragon chains go for when that boss comes out. I still haven't done King Black Dragon yet. I'd like to do it eventually though, on this version of the game by the way. Um, Maybe I could do it in a group. So for you guys, I think they were talking about originally with 2004Scape, they were, yeah, you can say spotter right now. Oh, nice. Yeah, they were talking about, they were talking about, regarding updates, like, I don't know for this update, but I think for future updates, we're talking about eventually they would give people a choice whether they would want to stay with the 2004 updates or go to like 2005, 2006. I don't know like if that's gonna stay steady or if they're gonna just kind of like update it for all the servers like as it goes. Like once it goes to 2005, like I wonder like if they're gonna say okay, do you want to stay with the 2004 updates or do you want to go to like another server with the 2005 updates? Because this is called 2004Scape, so it'll be interesting to see. Unless if they're going to rename it to like 2005, 2006, or like if for every year, at the end of each year, like they'll say, okay, like we'll have servers dedicated to like 2004Scape, and then if you want to move your character over to 2005, 2006, you can do that as well. We'll see how they do it, because that'll be interesting. I think for now it's going to be fine for a while, because there's still plenty of good updates in 2004, like even Elemental Workshop specials, attacks, Cowfight Queen, and other stuff. There's a lot of good stuff in 2004. So, but 2005, that's when you get like farming and other things. I think Slayer as well was 2005. Yeah, by the way, guys, thankfully, the growth spurt I went through this time wasn't as bad as my last one. I know I told you guys, or I think I might have told you guys, a year or two ago, I went from like a little under 5'9" to like 5'11". And so this time I went from like 5'11", and I measured myself today and I was like around 6 foot. And, I had someone initially who, when he came with me to go to my friend Joe's birthday, or I have a friend named Joe, but yeah, he measured me and I was indeed like 5'11", so I know it sounds strange to like have a growth spurt, especially like at 30 years old, like I just turned 30. But it'll probably like be like one of the last ones, because, I mean, I was fine enough already at 5'11", so, um, you know. But yeah, no, this one wasn't so bad, thankfully enough, because last one, like I was starving like a madman, but this time it's been better, so. And that's probably because, it's not as big of a jump. Um, so yeah. I guess I'm around your height then, RPG. Except I got there when I was 30, not 16. That's funny. Yeah, I think the only thing I can think of is like my Uncle Herman. I don't know like if it's because I have like because I mainly have European ancestry, but then I also have like native Japanese, American, Asian ancestry. So I don't know if it's like the Asian part too, because like I know Asians, whether they're Japanese or Native Americans or whatever, or native Japanese Americans, because they share ancestry with each other. Um, I've heard like I had a friend that was like half Scottish, half native medieval Japanese, Pacific Northwest American, and she told me um like her people, or I guess she's mentioning like the native side, native Asian side, like they don't get wrinkles until they're 60. And I can kind of see that too with like my dad's side of the family. Like, like my dad's almost like 70 and he still looks really good. Um, so that's the only thing I can think of. Unless I mean it could also be like the European ancestry, but 'cause like some people would say like how do you grow like when you're that old? I'm like, well, maybe it's something to do with Asian ancestry. I don't know. Um, I have like I think I have like everything. I have like mainly European, then Asian, and then a wee bit of African. Like I got all of them, So, but I think that's why I also connect to like ancient Egypt and Yu-Gi-Oh! And for anyone who doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Or does know Yu-Gi-Oh! It's one series I really enjoy. Then of course you got like the indigenous North Africans, like the Berber, Amazigh, like that were there like since like the beginning of Egypt and all that. Really interesting stuff, um, but yeah, no, like that's the only thing I can think of. Because like I know like um, I don't know, like I think some people have said like when they go to Japan, like they'll look at someone that's like 50, and they'll be like, how are you 50? So that's the only thing I can think of. Remember, if you collect herbs and want potions, our boy Matthew can craft them all if you have the secondary and the vials of water. Okay, I'll consider that then. Oh yeah, let me check if okay, no. Legends or yeah, Mystic Mime has yet to respond. Oh yeah, RPG. I know you told me you have children that are part Samoan and part Eskimo Inuit, so you might you might see that too with them with their ancestry as far as like how they age and stuff. Because I don't know about the Samoan part, but definitely when I think of like Eskimo Inuit, like it'll be interesting. But I think it's all kind of shared in a way, anyways. Like if you go back far enough, when it comes to Asians, because I think even like Melanesians or like Papuans, I think they're closer to Asians than like sub-Saharan Africans, from what I've read. Um, but yeah. I found it really cool that in 2004Scape they had a server based in Japan for this game. And then when I log in, the first guy's name is Flygon, but he responds to me in English. Because there's always this joke in like in Japan, like people don't speak English, but Samoans are built like fridges are up. Yeah, that was kind of like my Remember I told you about Jess, who was like half Scottish, half medieval Japanese, specific Northwest. I think she's like from the Wolf Clan, which might be related to like Submission Nation. She was built like a tank, like not in a bad way, but but that makes me think of like 'cause she lived in Hawaii. Like even though she was born in Canada and British Columbia, she grew up in Hawaii for many years, and I think she kind of felt like it was like kind of like home for her in a way. My dad's been to Hawaii too, but I don't think he has the same connection. He just always says he's European and Asian, and to me he looks like Fumio Kishida, one of the former prime ministers of Japan. So he's definitely Asian for sure. Um, and I know like in Britain, uh, I was talking to Mafi, and I know in Britain like Asian can also mean like South Asian, like Indian. But no, like what like when my dad says Asian, it's like East Asian, like Japanese. But yeah, no, like, cause like his grandmother, like literally, I don't know, like even looked like a modern Japanese woman. Cause I know there were different people who went to Japan during different time periods. But uh, why we call our boy the Samoan Thor? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess there is like so many different kinds of Asians. You got, I don't know, like if Polynesians. You'd have to think they would consider themselves Asians too, somewhat. But yeah, there's so many different kinds of Asians. It's crazy. Yeah, and then my mom's side, it's mainly European. Um, even though like, because it's interesting with my mom, because even though some might think she's mainly Spanish, there are times where I think like my mom's like also like French and maybe even some English and something else. Because I know her name is Edith, and see, my dad's name is Siggy, and that comes like that's very kind of like Norse Scandinavian. But Edith, even though it can be Scandinavian, it can also be Old English too. And she didn't know that until I told her that. But yeah, and I know she can also speak French as well. I think because she went to a French boarding school when she was young, and hopefully it wasn't all bad. It seems like she at least enjoys speaking French. But yeah, she enjoyed visiting England and all that. And she's also been to Ireland as well. That's been cool. I think I mainly got Irish from my dad, or it's like Irish, but it's like the kind of Irish that I think is like Celtic mixed with maybe some Norse or something. Because I've learned more and more that the Irish, I mean, you could be completely Celtic and be Irish, but you could also definitely be completely Norse and still be Irish, or you could be a mix of both. So I kind of learned that a little bit more. And I try to explain it because I know sometimes when people meet me, or even when people talk to me online, they don't really fully know where to put a word to how to see me because like they'll say like what do you really connect with? And because I will show them like like my mom, my dad. Um, and I know it's kind of funny, but yeah. I have Spanish American ancestry too, dominated by Norwegian. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I was talking to Moffy about it. I don't know if she's watching the stream, but she would ask me like, when I talk to most Americans, they usually say, I'm Irish American, I'm German American, or I'm Scottish American. And so she said, why do you say Celtic? And so I told her, well, if you go back to the Iron Age and what it was called Gaul, before it was called France by the Franks, the Celts during that time, even though they were, because I also think like Spanish and Portuguese ancestry probably is more connected to like Celtic ancestry than people think. Because you can even see it like in Britain and that area, and you can see people, Celtic tribes living in that area that are still genetically closest to like Spanish or even like the Basque as well, which are like the indigenous people of like northeast Spain and, and southwest France. Yeah, Derek Johnson is yeah, that's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, like but the Celtic matches from Gaul or France, what is now known as France. It was like Spanish, Portuguese, North Italian, French, South Dutch, and then sometimes like if it's especially more Belgic, so like the Belgic tribes, which were like closer to like Northeast France, Belgium, then it'd be like more Germanic, like you could get like German in there because the Belgic tribes were like a mix of Celtic and Germanic, but then you could get some tribes too that were like closer to also like Welsh or Southwest English, so like closer to like I guess Cornish or also Bretons, and then even sometimes Irish and Scottish too. It just depends. But in the back of my mind, I feel like the Irish and Scottish might have been more influenced by the Norse than people think. So that might be another reason why sometimes it shows a little bit further back because you know I some people might some of them might deny it, but they were probably might have been a little bit more influenced by the Norse than they let on, and that's probably why like the Norwegian Viking, Danish Donnie, all that showed up for my dad because he had 30% Irish, but I'm like, wait, I'm expecting Celtic tribes, but he's getting a whole bunch of Norse, which is not bad. But no, I think that was cool. Um, Hello, Silver. Hope you're doing well. I feel like I've met you. Oh, are you Silver Clown, by the way? If so, then yeah, we've talked before. Um, yeah, hope you're doing all right tonight. Yeah, like it's a whole mix for me. Um, I prefer it this way though. I think that's why I say Regnbue i Arcoiris, rainbow. Regnbue is Danish, Norwegian for rainbow. Arcoiris is Spanish. Maybe even Portuguese for rainbow. I'd have to check Portuguese, but at least Spanish. I know the Portuguese sometimes say we're not Spanish, but really we're genetically closer than people think. I guess it's like sometimes like how like I don't know, maybe like how Irish and Scottish sometimes fight. But and then Edis is or Iris or well Edis would be the ancient Greek way of also saying rainbow. Then in English you'd say iris, but it's the same word, just different pronunciation. Ages ago. Oh yeah, I remember you. I remember I was making gil off of or gold off of getting beads, and you're poking at me about that. Now I'm doing it at Blue Dragons and using Fire Strike. But yeah, like that's why I tell people about the melting pot in the U.S. because I was surprised Maffy and Rowie they've never heard of the melting pot before. That's like a common staple in the U.S. is the melting pot. Um, I know some people also use the word salad bowl as well, where I think the difference is a salad bowl is like you have a whole bunch of people that live in the same area, but they haven't necessarily mixed with each other. But a melting pot is more so like people who live in the same area, but also have mixed with each other. And I'm kind of like that kind of option, the melting pot. Uh, so, and like I think that's why, because I think I've noticed that a little bit more, like especially um maybe even like with coastal cities here in the U.S., like maybe even like the West Coast, that sometimes you think it's a melting pot, but then it's also really like a salad bowl. And so it's kind of hard because you think it's a melting pot, but when you go there, it's pretty different. They didn't have Schoolhouse Rock. Exactly. Like I think like in parts of like Los Angeles where you think it's like I use the word kumbaya, which to me is like to me like I think like all inclusive, all love and all that. Like you have like the Mexicans on one side, the Chinese on the other side, the Korean, the rooftop, they call them rooftop Koreans on the other side, and you got African Americans on the other side. And it's like, wait, aren't you guys all supposed to get along? So I kind of laugh at that. But I think there's been a bit more mixing. I just think. It's interesting where I live, where people think like we're because I kind of live like what we're some people would say quote unquote in the middle of nowhere. That people here are actually, in my opinion, more inclusive than maybe even people in those coastal places, which I know is weird, right? But that's how it is. I think it's like it's almost like a facade. It's like you see the facade and then you rip off the facade and it's like something completely different. And I think even that's what people say about Japan is that I've been to Japan, by the way, and I had a really good time there. It was years ago. But I think some people, say that when they think of Japan, they think of it as like some kind of utopia. When they go there, it's different. So yeah, it's like a facade. But I don't know if that's what some people think of big cities in general. Like, because I mean, I have lived in a very populated area, like Northeast Florida, but even down there, it was kind of like you had a lot of people, but it was still like small town folk kind of mentality. Like you could have like a million people in like in an urban area, but they're still like, hey, hello, how are you? Kind of a thing. Like even if there's a whole bunch of people. And I don't know if that also goes to like demographics and all that as well. Maybe, maybe not, but when I moved up here, I told people the only main difference between this place, like inland Pacific Northwest and Northeast Florida, which is technically South Georgia, is that up here it's colder, there's less people, but it's pretty much other than that it's very similar. And of course it's not flat because in Florida, in Northeast Florida, we don't have mountains and forests, but yeah, I mean the people are very similar. Less people, but still pretty similar. So. And it's amazing too, because like from Northeast Florida to here, it's like I think it's like at least 3,000 miles or something. I have to check. It's a long ways though. Excuse me. Yeah, they didn't have Schoolhouse Rock. Maybe that's what could help them. Hopefully. But I think even in Japan too, like for example, like even though it's like a huge place like Tokyo, I think over there like it's still taking a while for like people who weren't born and raised in Japan and who were mainly ethnically Japanese to kind of become part of the melting pot of Japan. It's getting better slowly, but yeah, I just think it takes time for them. Yeah, I think actually the West Coast is actually the place or the part of the U.S. that has the most amount of Asian Americans, and I think maybe also Pacific Islander and even natives who can also have Asian ancestry. So more so congregated on the West Coast. Yeah, I used to think too, like, well, maybe, a lot of people don't live here because of the winters, because we, like, sometimes we'll have like 5 to 6 months of winter. This last time around wasn't too bad. But then I think of places like Minnesota, and it's like, well, Minnesota, I think it even gets colder than here. But I think they have like, I don't know if they have 10 million people, but they got quite a bit, so there might be something more to it. Maybe it's just like the region and the mountains and you know, where it's located. I think in Minnesota, I think that's where they have the highest percentage of, I think Americans with Scandinavian or even Finnic or Finnish ancestry. Yeah, I think the best piece of wisdom I can give to people was, you know, before you fully judge a place, you know, sometimes it's worth, well, it can be worth visiting because that's what some people used to think of where I lived, that they wouldn't want to visit because they had this perception that where I lived was like a backwards kind of place. But then they would come to visit and they were like, "Oh, it's not so bad." And I'd say, "See, like it's actually pretty good here." But yeah, and even like during COVID, like when there was like lockdowns and all that, like people would be from the coastal cities were buying up property actually in Montana, which is a state east of mine, and they would spend all this money on big houses over there, and they would complain because they would say, "Well, there's not a Starbucks close to my house," and you know, and then the realtor would say, "Well, did you visit the place before you bought the place or bought the house?" And a lot of the buyers would say, "No, like I just bought the place." And so that's the other thing too. It's like unless if you really actually, you know, touch down, you know, to the actual land, you don't really get a full understanding of how the place actually is, and so that's why, especially if you want to buy a house, for sure, it's better to visit physically if you can. I guess it's like if someone from like California said, you know, hey, I want to buy a house in New Zealand, and so they buy a house in New Zealand even before going to New Zealand, and then when they go to New Zealand, it's like, wait, why is there not a Starbucks, you know? And then I could see RPGs saying, you know, you folk, you know, you you should have come over first, you know. Um, but yeah, like it's I don't know how many people have done that by the way, but maybe Hawaii might be a better example or Hawaii, but yeah, always better to at least come to the place and kind of get an idea of what it's really like, you know. Right, let me see if I can put all this. Bank. Oh, very easy, Lang. Uh, well, you should know this because you go to the Mages Guild, unless if you're asking me like unless if you're being funny about it. Yeah, I'm going for the Mages Guild. Well, I thought you were trying to. Nope. I mean, that could be an option. Well, vulnerability. Vulnerability is actually something I was thinking about too, because that could help with my battle mage build, or even like boss and KBD or something. Okay, I think yeah, let's go to Varrock. I think this is a good place now. Or good time. Good time and place to go to Varrock now. Yeah. And also the trade eye patches again, as you guys tend to enjoy. Yep, those are both good options. Oh, someone's here. Oh, it's Abita. Or Abita. Yeah, Abita. That's a little bit harder to pronounce than I thought it would be. Abita. Ibeta. Yeah, that's an interesting name. I think I traded her or traded him an eye patch already. Let's see. So yeah. She might be in the bank for a wee bit. There you go. There. Okay, I have to see. Okay, I'm gonna do a poll here. Oh, let's see. Let's go make sure to smash. Oh, no, I appreciate RPG. I'm gonna do a poll for you guys. Where would you like to visit next the most? This is gonna be more so Oceania and the Americas. See if I can. Oh, she's busy at the bank. Let's see. Okay, Alexis is actually buying Blue Hive. Oh no, he's selling it. Okay, never mind. Okay, so it seems like people really want to visit Canada, but they also want to visit New Zealand and Australia. Seems like I can understand why people don't want to visit the U.S. now. I'm sorry, guys. I think eventually things will get better here. Um, but we have an orange to that we have to work with right now. No UK option. Okay, hold on. Um, well, Mafia, I was focusing more on Oceania and the Americas. But next poll, we can also do UK as well. UK and Ireland. I just wanted to focus on this part of the world first. Hey, I mean, like, I mean, can well, I know Canada, Australia, and New Zealand are their own countries, but hey, at least they're also represented here. And then Maffey's like, no, it has to be the UK. It has to be England or or it could be maybe other places in the UK as well. But yeah. So, she'd be like, why would I want to go to Australia and fight a kangaroo? It's funny. I'm sure I'm sure you could still have a good time there. Let's see here. Oh, let me type to ooh. Okay, let's see. So yeah, it seems like the verdict is Canada as the most popular place to visit in this region. Oceania and the Americas. Australia and New Zealand is a tie. And again, US, including Hawaii is also last place. Yeah. Okay, probably after this poll, then I'll do yeah, the UK or different parts of the UK and Ireland. Okay, yeah, 5 votes in. I think the reason why New Zealand would be neat to visit is because, well, for one, I think that was where the Lord of the Rings film was well, I guess filmed at. And then I also think of like all the different animals there. Like I guess you guys have the kiwis, and I also think of the fruit as well, the kiwi fruit. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so okay, next poll is Hold on. There he is. I think. Yeah, I think Pashka is trying to get 99 prayer. Okay. I think she's ready now. Give me a sec. Can you hear bull roar sound? Wait, hold on. Let's see. Or rather. Okay, let me. Okay, so. Hey Matt, glad to see you also made a cameo in the stream. There you go, you get to enjoy your eye patch. Okay, let's see what people vote. I would have put in a fifth option if I could, but I figured North, even though it might be a bit contentious, I figured still putting those two would be okay, Northern Ireland or Ireland. Okay, so I got to vote for Scotland, a vote for Northern Ireland and or Ireland, or Ireland. Okay, it's only 2 votes in so far. Okay, hold on. I gotta see who's selling runes. Hmm. Fire runes 25. Uh, okay, it seems like Scotland it seems to be winning right now. Um, maybe man drop them. Yeah. Um, 1,000 mine runes, or about up to. I love this song. Okay. 8,000. Okay. Give me a sec. Fine. I think that's fair. 62. Or if you have. Yeah, that way then I can have runes for a long time. Sure. You know, if there's one thing, like, I know my mom, she's pretty, well, she loves traveling, but she's pretty, she sees England as one of her favorite places to visit. I know one time she told me that, there are other places you can visit in England aside from London. And I think one place that I thought about, if I ever visited there again, um, yeah, you could, might be Cornwall. I guess there's also York as well. Though, though I kind of laugh with York because I knew someone from the West Midlands that she said, the people from York, they're a bunch of cunts, But the people there were quite nice to me when I would talk to them. At least when I talked to them online. Might be different in person, but give me a sec. But yeah, no, that was kind of interesting. Also, visiting Wales would also be interesting as well. Um, let's see. I know my friend Ben would say we're not Walish, we're Welsh. Let me see. How about... I don't know. Figure that's fair. I live like 10 minutes from Stonehenge. Oh, nice. It's pretty cool. Yeah. I haven't visited Stonehenge or Not This Life Journey, but that could be another place to visit too. But yeah, that's one thing my mom always said, if you ever visit England, there's always other places to visit than London. Not to say London's bad, but I think it's like saying, you go to Ireland, you only go to Dublin, and then you just see drunks, doing whatever on the streets, which is usually not pretty pleasant. You know, like you can go to Donegal or you can go to Roscommon or other places in Ireland. So yeah, that makes sense. The same thing in England. Like you can go to Cornwall, you can go to York, you can go to Stonehenge. You don't just have to stay in the big city. Okay, let me see if I can gift him something. London's great, but yeah, there's all sorts of from the new force up to the Lake District. That'd be the same. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so that's why like because I know that Maffey always uses the Yankee example, and I feel so bad because I grew up here and I was born here, but you see all these meme videos. It's like, hey, I want to go to Ireland, and they just go to Dublin, or hey, I want to go to England, and they just go to London, or hey, I want to go to Scotland, and maybe they just only visit Edinburgh. Or I haven't met too many people who said I wanted to visit Wales, which is a shame. I think Wales has a lot of history there. I could hear my Welsh friend Remy say, "Yeah, that's fine. We're all right with Adam." But no, it's great. Yeah, I watched one video about County Donegal, and I try to say Yankee less because apparently it's offensive. Uh, I guess maybe I'd have to ask other Americans to see what they think, because honestly, I don't know. I'd have to see what they think. I mean, I don't really have too much stock in it, but a good thing about European countries is that they're smaller, so easier to visit. Yeah, like I think if there's one place I'd want to visit in Ireland is Donegal, because I think on a DNA test, because like my dad said he got 30% Irish. I think Donegal was one of the places that it connected to. That's like in northwestern Ireland, and they call it the Forgotten County of Ireland. And one of the guys there literally looked like my grandfather, like not my dad's dad, but like my mother's dad. And my mom would always say that her dad was part Spanish, but also Basque as well, from the Basque country. Well, not Basque country, Navarra, which is very close. So not quite Basque country, but very close to it. Um, and I remember that guy looked just like my grandfather, like or my mother's dad. Yeah, we would call him Papa. But I think what I liked about Donegal was, and the guy literally said, you know, you can move here for a month, and then we'll see if you're if you're a cunt or not, and then we'll go we'll go from there. And I thought that was pretty cool. But in the UK and the countryside, I believe it's very beautiful. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, you know, honestly, that guy from Donegal, you know, because like sometimes I've heard, you know, things from some Irish that will say, you know, they'll say like Ireland only for the Irish, or we want to keep our bloodline pure, and then you go from that to this man that reminds me of my grandfather that says, yeah, we'll see if you're a cunt or not after you're here for a month. I love that. I love that. The pace of life is a lot slower than in a big city, more small. Yeah, no, like I just that was just perfect. It's like that's all he had to say for me to say, yeah, this guy is pretty cool. And I showed a photo of him to my mum and to her brother Ralph, and they were like, yeah, he does look a lot like our dad. So, um, yeah, England isn't exactly loved like Scotland or Ireland. We have, yeah, but in England, you know, there were some people in England, like for example, Cornwall. I know the Cornish, some Cornish, they say, you know, we're not English, we're Cornish. But there were some people from Cornwall that looked just like my dad, and um, and so I wouldn't mind visiting Cornwall, um, and maybe even York as well. Maybe I know Laura from the Midlands doesn't have good opinions on them, but the people there, you know, said, you know, if you want to come up here, feel free to. And of course, I'm sure there's other areas too. Um, but yeah, they are traders. Yeah, I think there were a lot of Vikings that went through that area, like because I read something about the Danelaw and Danish Vikings, and maybe that's why my dad's wife Julie said, "Yeah, I'm not related to those Vikings," and then she turns out she has Danish Viking ancestry, part of it. She's like, "Yeah, I'm only Anglo-Saxon white. I'm not part Danish Viking." And then it shows up. Well, I hate to break it to you, but it also found a way to get into your ancestry. Um, but yeah. But yeah, it's so interesting. There's just some people from Ireland or Britain that remind me so much of my family members. Like that's even Remy. Well, Remy was the one that said you remind me a lot of my dad, and Remy looked a bit like my dad, a little bit. Of course, she's a woman and my dad's a man, but and then I learned Remy was actually like a Belgic tribe as well. My dad always says, you know, he feels part Belgium or Belgian. I'm like, I can see it now. And then I think I showed you, Maffy, that Jody looked a bit like my mother. And it's funny because when I see Jody, it's like she reminds me so much of my mom, just even the way she speaks. It's funny. I think if my mom and Jody met, they'd have a good time. The Flemish part of the French or the French part. Oh yeah, that's true because I think Flemish is closer to Dutch. I mean, I think probably both because my dad has like French and Dutch ancestry, so probably both really. Dios míos. Okay, I think we're good on runes for now. I think we're set. Especially mine runes for sure. I almost got 10,000 mine runes. Well, I guess those chaos runes will have to wait for a wee while. But it'll be alright. I think by the time I use all those runes, might be close to 66 magic anyways. Hold on, Olaf. I'm related to an Olsen. Hold on. The son of Olaf. Hold on. Yeah. Maffy jump scare. Nice. Yeah, and I think that's the thing too that people don't realize is just how diverse the UK and Britain or the UK and Ireland really is. Because I think some people have things. It's almost like it's like they think like it's like how they think all the Japanese are like the same, and that's not that's not the case. And well, that's the same also for the UK and UK and Ireland. But it's interesting because like my dad's wife, Julie, her son is actually dating a Vietnamese girl, and his girlfriend thinks that when she went to like a family get together in Ohio with them, she thought all the people looked the same, which I thought was interesting. Three FT pay F free to play players online. Oh wow. Yeah, I never really thought about it, but maybe I don't think about it as much living here. Um, but well, I also don't, I don't go out every day, but when I do, it's usually grocery shopping or things like that. Well, yeah, I think at least where I live, I think we still have a decent selection of people. I probably just don't think about it as much. Dios míos, I know him. Yes. Yeah, I know Dios means God in Spanish. I don't know what Mios means though. I don't know, but and Dios I think is also connected to Zeus or Zeus because Zeus or Zeus you just instead of a D it would be a Z and yeah. He only does air rune crafting in World 1. He's not there, I guess. Oh well. Yeah, like I think what I've noticed is I think like um oh, I said that quite a bit. Um in the UK and Ireland, I think people it might also help that they've held on to their roots more, well because they were born there, of course. And I think here in the US, I think maybe that's why even people get confused the way I speak. It's like, why don't you speak with an American accent? And I would say, well, this is just how I speak. I guess it'd be like if you told like a German American, stop with that German accent. He probably wouldn't be too happy. If you told an Italian American, stop with the Italian accent, you know? Because it's like, it's part of who you are. Because I never really thought about it. Um, but like, because it's also strange, there's a lot of Americans that will say, I'm Anglo-Saxon white, and yet they make fun of the British, or English who also have Anglo-Saxon ancestry for their accent. And so to me, it's like, wait, but you know, it's like it's like what I told Maffey. It's like they think English came from America, you know, and then they also think Spanish came from Mexico, and so it's kind of it's all like discombobulated. It's like a paradox, you know. And I never really thought about it like that. I think maybe just people over here, maybe they just. I feel like some people know their ancestry better than others. I think for people who are German Americans, they know they're German. Usually, that's what I usually feel. And the Italians, they definitely know they're Italian. Um, but I think when it comes to like English, Irish, Scottish, it can be, or Welsh. Well, my friend Ben knows he's Welsh, but it gets a little bit more hazy. It gets a little bit more, you know. Yeah. And then the Danish Americans will say, well, I had family from Denmark. It's like, well, you're technically a Danish American. But for me, like, I definitely do have Spanish ancestry, and I guess it helps too that I know how to speak Spanish. Not at a perfect level, but I at least can hold a conversation, to an extent. But of course, I'm also more than just Spanish. Like, I have Irish, I have, I guess German, French, Dutch, native Japanese American, maybe even some connection to ancient Egyptians, Greek, Italian. So to me, it's a whole bunch of ancestry mixed together. Um, Now, I don't really, because I know for some German Americans, they're really, you know, pro letting people know that they're German. I'm not really like that. I don't think my Uncle Herman's like that either. Even though some people call him Herman the German, I call him Uncle Cherokee Japanese Herman. Because when I look at him, he reminds me of Nobu Uematsu, like the guy who made the Final Fantasy, or some of the songs for Final Fantasy. And when Herman saw that, he's like, "Oh yeah, I do look like him." And I told him, "You see." um, Now I don't know. I don't think my Uncle Herman speaks much Japanese, but and there are some people who poke at me when I tell them, I have an uncle that's German and Japanese, and then they try to make jokes about it. I'm like, no, it's not what you think it is. But no, anyways, I think like my Uncle Herman, um, like he has like some because he's spent over 40 years with the Cherokee Native Americans in North Carolina, and he says he's fought with them, he's laughed with them, he's cried with them, and he's had joy with them. And I know it's very important to him. He feels home there, and I'm glad for him. I'm glad. He says he feels like he's gonna pass away there in North Carolina. And he has a daughter. Sorry about that English. He has a daughter named Summer. Not biologically his daughter, but it is his daughter. And he's having a grandchild named Bjorn, and so I feel like that's pretty cool. Okay, I think we're gonna go to Camelot now. Well, let's see if anyone wants these. From the old Xbox game, you know what it was. I always associate the name Bjorn with snowboarding. Uh, Trying to think. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember the exact name. It might be called something extreme. I think there was a game like that on GameCube too. Oh, you know what? Oh, Maffy, let me just give these to you because you'll need these for Catcher. It's a black bead and a red bead. Yeah, and then you got my dad saying he's Belgium. And then I found that, well, he's right, because he's related to like the Belgic tribes, northeastern France and Belgium. And then you got my German Irish American friend saying, the Dutch stole everything from us. And then I'll say, well, at least they got good plating. And then my Dutch friend's like, thank you, Jim. Let's see. Oh, Miss School. Let's go. I will say I enjoy making Italian food, or what I think Italian is. Like, I like making pasta. I like good bread. I know Germans do too, but so do Italians and even Spanish and French and everyone else. And yeah, of course I like burgers too, but yeah, I kind no, I only say that because I just because then she'll say that's German, and it's like no, it's more than German. So that's funny. Okay, hold on. Let me go to Camino. Yeah, even though I've only visited, well, aside from going to the airport in Spain, even though I've only visited Italy and London and England so far, those were still some pretty good experiences. Oh, there's Sears. Um, and yeah, let's see. There's no one fishing there today. Okay, have I traded Sears an eye patch? Let's see. Hold on. A gift. I just love trading the eye patches. It's great. Oh shoot, hold on. I know he usually is looking for these. Would you collect 500? You know what? Sure. I'll do that. Yeah. We'll do it for him. Legend. I'm glad. I'm laughing because there's this Vietnamese YouTuber I watch called Uyen who's dating a German guy in Germany. They did a video where they were in Scotland. She's like, finally, I found a place where they speak my language. And then her German boyfriend's like, but you can't even speak their accent. And she's like, sure I can. And she tries to attempt a Scottish accent. And then like she starts running like she starts running away from him, and then he with the bagpipes playing, and she's like, no, don't. Where are you going? It's great. But no, she has good videos where they've had a good time in Germany, and then they go to like Korea and they enjoy themselves there too, and maybe even Japan. But yeah, I think for me the places I'd like to visit in Europe would definitely be Spain. I'd like to visit Galicia, northwestern Spain. They say that's like one of the Celtic hearts of Spain. Um, then maybe Greece. Greece would be another interesting place. Um, I think Rowie said she was visiting Greece, so that would be pretty cool. Then of course, uh, Britain and Ireland eventually again. Um, Norway would be interesting too, as long as I don't have to pay dollars for bottled water. And even Bjorn's like, they don't charge that much over here. We'll have to see. And then maybe Cleves or Cleve, but that would mainly be more so for family history because I know my dad's grandfather on his mother's side was said to have come from there, which was from northwestern Germany bordering the Netherlands. But it seems like more Dutch know about that place than Germans, so it's interesting. So Always love this music. Hold on, Earthbound. I got you a gift. Oh, there's Avatar. There we go. The brave warrior. Don't worry, I'm coming back. Got your pen. A hero in the making. Let me see if I got anything else for him, because he has no armor on right now. Let's see, let me give him... Why don't we give him some monk robes? Let's get him that. Let's get him, let's see. He's a pirate with a monk robe. It's great. How about let's get him... Wish I had more for him, but let's see. Oh, here. Let's give him this. Let me give John Wayne this. Just give him some more armor. There you go. Now he's outfitting himself a bit more. Look at him. He's perfect. Don't you guys like his build? He has a black I think that's a black sword, a black longsword, monk robe, eye patch, leather chaps, and yellow cape. He's ready to go deep wildy. He's ready to take him down. He's ready to. He's ready to take on all of them. See, they won't know what hit him exactly. Look, let's see here. Oh, that really helps. Thank you. Okay, do I have anything else? Addy weapons. Not at the moment. However, I do have this. I will smelt this one day. Let me see. What else do we got? Oh, here. Wait, okay. Yeah, let's get those 500 newts. I'm just glad I could help him a wee bit, even with just that. It made me happy that I could do that. I think the Draenor bank is a little bit closer than. I guess they're both not too far away. Guess I could try it out. Yeah, let's just yeah. There. Let's see. Here we go. Love this thing. Let's see. Yeah, I figure this is nice to do for Seers. Also something a wee bit different to do as well. Glad to see most people have enjoyed the stream so far. It feels like one huge family here. I really have enjoyed it. That's another reason why I like doing these streams because Just nice to have a good community and just have everyone together. Yeah. Yeah, and in that respect, I think of like the word for family, and it carries such similarity whether you say it in English or Spanish, like family or familia. It's very, it just has that same like just feeling to it. Next Saturday is going to be good for those of us who have hung around. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's just one other perk of knowing more than one language is because I think knowing English and Spanish, you have the ability to understand most of Southern, Central, and Northern European languages, which is nice. It's very familiar, you could say. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'd have to see if it both derives from Latin, but yeah. Yeah, when I went to Italy, I was able to speak a little bit of Italian. Like, I was able to say buongiorno, which I think is like a greeting to kind of say hello, or because I think bon means bien, which is good, and giorno I think is like a way to say I think it was either good morning, good afternoon. But it was enough for them to smile, even just saying that, which made me happy. I feel like now this was like I think in Rome and in Florence, but it was very similar to the Japanese, like saying Mizu-san was also enough to get them to smile. And so I think to myself, because like I think like when people talk about France and it's usually Paris, I've heard that if you don't speak perfect French in Paris, they'll give you an attitude. However, if you go to Normandy or other parts of France, if you do speak a little bit of French, then they're a little bit more inclined to be happy because I guess they don't get as many visitors or they just have a different mentality. Most places like it when you at least try the language, yeah. And like even in like in the UK or in England, I mean I know, people speak English, but you know, I'm sure there's also some words in English that, maybe is not spoken as much in American English that if you spoke it over there, they might appreciate it more. Or like if you get certain words right, like Plymouth instead of I don't know why they would say Plymouth. That sounds so weird, but oh yeah. I remember I got a smile from a Danish YouTuber when I said Rainbow. She appreciated that. She said, "Yes, I know the rainbow," or I know the rainbow. I used to go to France all the time as a kid, and honestly, they aren't that bad about non-French speakers. We did visit Normandy and surrounding areas, though, so I guess that checks out. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think it's mainly Paris, but again, I don't know how much of it is a stereotype and how much of it is true. I'm sure a lot of it's true, um, but yeah, yeah, France is such a big country as well. There's so many different places you can go there. Then you also have the Basque Country in southwestern France. And when I heard them sing, it reminded me of the Welsh singing, because I know some of the Welsh also might have some Basque ancestry too. connected to the Aquatani. Yeah, if you go far back enough. But I think that sample match I found wasn't even in Wales; it was in Derby. And they had Basque ancestry too, so I'm sure it extends beyond Wales. Yeah, they speak a language called, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Izquierda, which I think is left in Spanish. That is the Basque language. I have heard though, and you might know this better than I do, Maffy, but there are some. I have heard that quite a few people from Britain do like visiting Spain and Portugal, and I've heard part of it's well received, but part of it seems to not be apparently, because I watch videos of people in parts of Spain with like they have like these squirt bottles and they spray water at the tourists, which honestly I know it might sound bad, but at least they're not throwing rocks, you know. I'd rather get water squirted on me than having a rock thrown at me. At least like that's my take on it. A lot of people. Yeah, I mean, squirt bottles to me are not so bad. I mean, they're not throwing rocks, you know. The worst that would happen is you just get a bit wet and maybe get yelled at in Spanish. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I think the problem is because honestly, I don't know how it is. Ooh, let me give my patch as well. I don't know how it is for you guys, but I notice, like, for example, when a lot of people from the US go to Japan, sometimes they'll tell the Japanese, we demand you to speak in English, um, which is probably not a good idea. Um, and yeah, and that's all the kids that go to Ibasi and such. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, Bisa. Yeah. Well, I think the good thing is at least you guys know a little bit more about Spanish than people from the U.S. I don't know why they think, yeah, Spain's in Mexico. Have you ever looked at a map? Yeah, it's silly. But yeah, I think, if you come in with a good attitude, and it's like what the Irishman said, yeah, we'll see if you're a cunt or not after you're here for a while. I'm sure the same thing would happen in England. I'm sure if what you call a Yankee or American or another American tourist went to England and say, I demand you to speak English American and not British English, I'm sure you guys, wouldn't like that. Or it probably wouldn't go well for him, to be honest. um, yeah. It's so weird too. Like I don't know like why some people here think like that, but I guess each their own, right? I think I converted my friend today. Oh wow. There's UK English traditional US I don't even know why I said that like that. US English simplified, let's say. From OSRS to 2004Scape Darkness to Light. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, oh, all right, sounds good. Like I've told you, Maffy, even people here, say, well, like my friend Joe, who says like he's Scottish and Irish and English and Apache and all that, and German and Jewish. He's like, yeah, he confronted me. He's like, stop talking with that Celtic accent. And I said, I'm sorry, Joe, but this is the way I talk. And then he kind of backed down. All I would have to tell Joe is if you went to England or Ireland and you told them that, they probably would, it probably wouldn't go well for you. Oh, my God. Yeah, I like how you talk. Yeah, no, well, I feel like it's even more so for him because if he's gonna say he's Scottish and English and Irish and all that, at least, understand, where the accent comes from because um if you say you're that, but then you say, well, don't talk like how my ancestors or our ancestors or however you want to say used to talk, that can be a problem. It's like because he could have a problem if he goes to if he ever goes to the Britain or Ireland, and if he tells people over there, you don't talk in that accent, he's gonna have a problem. So I think it's good to let him know. Um, I know he also said German and Jewish and all that, but still, I think it's good to know. And of course Apache, which is Native American. Yeah, yeah. His mom again reminds me of Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. If you guys ever seen that film, we're a friendly bunch. Yeah, I wouldn't want him to get punched, but yeah, it's tough. I would just tell him, Joe. I told you. And the other thing too, it's like here, people have Italian and German accents anyway, so it's like I don't see the problem of having a Celtic accent. Or I told you about Laura Lemire, she's from Wales. I don't know if people have ever told her, you can't talk in your Welsh accent, but yeah. She looks so much like my grandma, my mom, or mama, my mom's mom. OSRS is only good if you're an Ironman and are good at it. A PVM, in-game resources are flooded by bots, plus PVM drops killing instead. Yeah. But no, I'm honestly glad I'm part I know I would say, part Spanish, part Portuguese. I also say Celtic because it really is intertwined and also, with ancient Greek and Trojan, but I think the benefit is just again being able to speak more than one language and again Spanish food is great, Well, not only Spanish, also Cuban, Mexican, Colombian, all good. All, at least in my opinion, superb. I never, yeah, I never went without good food when I went to either of my parents' houses. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm finding hard to gather my own resources. I'm basically an Ironman now. You'll get there, Maffy. You'll get there. That's a nice cat you got. Thanks. Yeah, and Laura Lemirix, she actually was learning Spanish, which I thought was cool. So she knew English, Welsh, and Spanish, and she spoke Spanish perfectly. I don't know why I'm slurring my words, but maybe I need to drink more water. Yeah, it could be part of it. Okay, I think I'm going to probably hop worlds real quick, just because they're starting to uh, get low in inventory. Yeah, but I was thinking to myself, that could even happen to. I remember I told you about my Kyle too, Mafia, one of my old friends who kind of parted ways, but he also went to the wedding with me. Yeah. If he ever went to Ireland or Britain, he's like, don't talk in that accent. Oh boy, same thing. I don't know if I'm Spanish or if I'm English. And I could say you could very well be both, you fuck. Yeah. Doesn't matter if new runes are good. GP, like the game doesn't have a limiter in 2004Scape. The best money makers are limited at like 200, 300k. Yeah. Yeah, and then he would always say, "Yeah, I'm part Spanish." He's like, he would say, "I'm Spanish, but you're not." And then he would say, "I failed Spanish on purpose, intentionally at school." He met my mom too, by the way. But yeah, that's. Yeah, that's so weird. It's like you say, "I'm Spanish, but I failed Spanish at school on purpose." It's like saying, "Yeah, I'm English, but I failed English because I hate the language so much." Yeah, like you'll never be relevant in the meta in OSRS if you don't mind not, then sure, yeah. Why you'll never. My grandma, or my mom's mom, always did say she wanted to learn English, though. She'd always say, siempre quería hablar inglés, or I always wanted to speak English, or always wanted to learn to speak English, which was always a kind of a nice sentiment. Yeah, money I'm struggling with. I can't just sell everything and anything at the G, and now I have to talk to people. Hey, not always a bad thing, unless if you don't like talking to people in the first place. It's me first day. Nice. Yeah, I know the feeling. Um, I think that's why, like, I think for me, although, online I'm pretty sociable, I think locally, I mean, oh, I can be pretty sociable at the store, like, I'll say hello to people and stuff, but I'm not the type of person, to go out to local bars or pubs every week or such. I kind of enjoy my own company at home, and of course with you guys, but yeah, I do like talking to people when I do go to the grocery store. I know that seems like an interesting place, but yeah, or hiking too. No, no bonds. That's what made me take a break from the game for a while, because I got tired of doing that. I think the best feeling a person can have is when they truly feel at home, wherever they are. Um, Living here, I feel like it's been a good home. I enjoy the forest, the mountains, and the peace and quiet. And I've been able to also make good friends here over time as well, even though it's taken a while. I've at least helped open their hearts. So I just think it's very rare to find someone here that really, I mean, aside from German and things like that, nothing wrong with that, but it's very hard to find someone here that really connects deeply, like with, for example, like any Celtic heritage or even, I don't know. It's maybe it's just me, but I think I have a neighbor that's like who is the main god like Zeus, Odin for the Celts. Okay, well it depends because Celts can be very broad, because it includes such a wide area of land. Um, if you go to Ireland, it'd be the Dagda Lu, which is similar to my name, the Morrigan, which Rowie took a liking to. You also have Cernunnos, which is the a horned or antlered one, and he's more so from Gaul or modern day France, and could also extend to Spain or Switzerland as well. But then there's also, let's see, there's many different deities, or one can also be even maybe even ancestors too. Um, I think in Wales you have Caradwyn, I think. Hopefully I'm saying that right for the Welsh. Any people who connect with the Welsh here? I think there's also, I think my friend Ben mentioned, I think there's a Welsh god known as Owen, or, oh, I'd have to look. but I remember that as well. And then there's also Epona in Gaul, or when I mention Gaul, it can be France, it can be or what is now known as modern day France, parts of Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, northern Italy. Another way to think of Epona is if you've played Legend of Zelda, you might have heard her name, also known as Epona, but Epona is another way to say it too. Um, I think she's a goddess associated with horses. What about Meridwen Wilt, I think. I'm not sure about that one. I'd have to look into it. And I think in Scotland, I think they have like a one-eyed uh, or ice giantess or something. I'd have to look at her name, but oh, they also have Bridget as well. That's another one. Uh, I think another one would be Taranis or be another one. Again, it also depends on the region, just because it covers such a wide amount of land. Also, the Celts, they would mix with different people depending on the region. Like if you go to like closer to Switzerland, on average, they would be a little bit closer to Spanish, Portuguese, but also connection to French and Dutch. If you went to northeastern France, closer to Belgium, then they would be more Germanic, because they would mix more with the people there. Um, Arwen of Unwin. Yeah, I'd have to look at that. Yeah, I think my friend Ben mentioned him, I think. Excuse me. I really really it's a lot of Western Europe if you think about it for the Celts, because once you get west of, I mean, of course you have the Scordisci and the Balkans, which were Celtic as well, but if you're thinking about where most of the Celts also resided, it would really be, again, like France, what is now known as France, Spain, Portugal, Britain, Ireland, Belgium, parts of the Netherlands, Switzerland. And of course you could include Austria as well, but in southern Germany, but really I think more so at times Western Europe. Um, I think that's one thing that France, Spain, Portugal, and Britain, Ireland, they all have in common is they all share the Atlantic Ocean together. Like they're all the closest countries, European countries to the Atlantic Ocean, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and by the way, a lot of people who say they're German Americans here, I don't think a lot of them even necessarily like connect with Odin and such, because even the way like say certain things, like for example, let's see here. Also, my World Comedy Sphere bank work. Yep. I think the way I say certain things, certain Germanic words, they tend to have more like a Scandinavian twist. Like, cause like I think my dad's partner Julie recognized that. I'm trying to think of something like I don't know, like Rosaland, and she would say Rosalind or something. I would say no, Rosaland. Uh, and you know, it's very similar, but the pronunciation is different. And again, with my dad's DNA match, even though he didn't get like Anglo-Saxon, he did get like Danish Dani, which was like a tribe in Denmark. And then he also got Cheruski, and that was the Germanic chieftain Hermann Siegfried, who fought 3 Roman legions in the Battle of Teutoburg, or Teutoburg, depending how you want to say it. Um, okay, let's see. Yeah, and it's really strange because like on Bjorn's channel, he's Norwegian, and there's a lot of people, unfortunately, also where the country I live in, the U.S., that they'll tell him, you're going to hell for believing in Odin, you know, and then he'll say, "You fucking idiots, you don't even know how Old Norse influenced English." And then he mentions like the days of the week, like Tuesday, which is like Tuesday, Wednesday is Woden's or Odin's day. I tend to prefer saying Odin. Thursday's Thursday, and Friday's Freya's day. I can't have a laugh. Yeah, I find it silly. Like, you fucking idiots. He says it a little bit differently, but I have my own twist to it. Yeah, I just think it just also depends on the person. Like, I think again, like my Welsh American friend Ben would know that. But I think it helps too that his mother was born in Wales before she came to the US. He was born here like I was, but his mom was his mom actually looked a lot like my dad, honestly. Maybe that's, could also be a connection to not only Wales but also Belgium or something. Okay. I'm gonna Yeah, I felt a lot at home when I would hang out with him. We did it, guys. We got the 500 eyes of Newt, which I'm pronouncing it right. Glad we were able to do it. I love the music here. All right. I think it was worth it. It was worth it. I'm glad I was able to help him. Come on now. The gifts. There. Alright. Where's those gauntlets, mister? Well, I gotta... Oh, wow. That's really cool. Might as well give this to him because he also gave me 1,000 nature runes as well. No way, I got a gift too. Crest on the way. Eye patch goat for sure. Um, let me see. I think I'm probably gonna end the stream soon after this, guys. I'll probably go to Ardoid, Yano, then I'll probably end it there. It's been fun though. It's been a great stream. Seems like most of you guys think as well, aside from one person who said more polls. Great. Okay, yeah, I think I definitely got plenty of mine runes and fires and airs to, at least for a while, to at least get me to 66 magic, I think. And then this will help me to eventually get 40 smithing, or either smithing or crafting, yeah. Or, yeah. Let's see here. See if he's here. Glad he was happy about it. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys had fun, and I'll be off. Take care.